I've come to a realization that it's a kind of an on and off pattern when I'm watching these kind of anime, where the first episode leaves a mixed feeling or a bad impression in my mouth, but later on, as I watch the second episode and so far on, I've always had a more interesting perspective on it. And I guess I need to expect that. That's the reason why a lot of people put in the 3 episode rule. Despite how bad a first episode could be, or mixed feelings, or meh it might be, it's always best to give it 2 more tries. And I'm glad I did. I knew this was going to happen. This happened before. I think the latest this happened to me was, I guess, with Release the Spice. And so where I could not stand the first episode of Release the Spice. But then, so on and so forth, it got better and better and better. And this seems to be happening at the same time. Sure, I have a feeling it's going to have some things that K-Con Collection also had a problem with as well. And that's with too many characters. All these characters have such unique and interesting designs. None of them look like background characters. They all have their own personality, their own backstory, their own personality, I think I already said that, their own weapons, and their way they fight. So, the fact that they don't get to cover all of them, it's just kind of criminal. And these kind of shows need more than just 12 to 13 episodes to really please the urge, let alone the fans themselves. I'm not saying I'm a big fan of Azur Lane, which you know I'm not, but as I'm watching this show, I'm getting invested into it, Still got a long way for a K-Con Collection Season 2 to come out, so I was on invest into this. And so far, Episode 2 really dragged me on because of the explanation in the lore is a bit more interesting now. Yes, they're still doing the World War II kind of thing, I believe. You have the Iron Blood Nations, which is the Red Cross Germans. You have the Sakura Empire, the Red Axis, some of the Asians. And then you have the Azur Lane side, which you have England, you have the United States, and probably some other European nations as well coming together. You can tell by the designs of their clothing and stuff. And I find that very interesting. I think K-Con Collection had more of the Japanese ships than they did have this one does. This one has all varieties, and you're seeing the war. So, not only, as in the last video, one of the viewers say that the Sirens are still a big threat. And, okay, that's interesting. But it seems like, I don't know, but it seems like this show is more focused right now on the Civil War that's happening. Well, not want to say Civil War, but more of the nation reenactment of World War II or something, I believe. Because right now it seems like they're winning over the Sirens. So one side is split from the 3 sides, the Axis and the Iron Bloods, and they decided to form their own union, and now they're trying to take over Azur Lane. A huge betrayal, pretty much, and now they're just attacking each other. You thought they would take a rest where, hey, let's take a breather, let's get to know more of the characters. Nope. Right when they were down, the freaking Iron Blood forces came in and started attacking as well in this episode. Now, before I get to that, let's also talk about how these girls are created. They're created by a thing called the Mental Cube. The Mental Cube is where they came from. So when their weapons are materializing, that's what's happening. There are a bunch of the mental cubes together, and it forged them. So originally, they are just weapons, the shape as humans originally. And determined on by the kind and class they are, some of these will have siblings. For instance, one of the main characters, like a main character, she has an Agami got killed kind of vibe, where she's like Akame, but she doesn't really fit out as a main character, even though she is. Eagle Union, Enterprise. She has a very nice design. You can tell she's American. The eagle explains it even more than that. And she's the serious kind of type, the one that sees the mission, the duty to the very end. Very edgelord-like, but she still has a heart. She even has a sister, a sibling called Hornet. Hornet's design is simple but yet cool, and there's tons of other interesting designs. But like I said before, the show is going to mainly focus on the smaller classes, such as Javille and Laffy, and of course, um, um, Aya, Hina Ami. Pretty much, I think I said her name right. The one on the opposite side. It's mainly focused on them and their friendship and struggle of why everyone else is so focused on destroying each other. They're asking, do we really need to fight each other? Are we having a big threat? But that's what always happens in human history, where we're at a time of peace, and then because we just got through fighting a big war, we start having a, a dysfunction, a disorder among each other. So we start fighting each other until a bigger threat comes along again. Then we reunite, we fight against that big threat, we take it down, and then we're back at fighting each other again. It's common history. It's what's happening right now, actually, when you think about it. At first, it was the left versus the right, big time, and out of nowhere, China's doing this bull crap, and now everyone's uniting together to stand against China's. So, but I'm not getting too deep into that. That I'll be here all day if I talk about that. Trust me. Now, like I said before, the animation. I love that animation. It's really good, man. I love the character designs, the intense music, too. The soundtrack. When they're fighting the battle, and not to mention, it's that kind of anime fan service. This is gonna have probably more fan service. Not probably at Strike Witches kind of level, because you all know the fan service at Strike Witches level was crazy. It's probably, but it is definitely above Girls and Panzers, and also above K-Tong Collection's level of fan service. However, it felt a bit out of place in a way when they did it. I'm all in for fan service, you know that, but when they put it in there, it felt a little bit too off the point. So another thing with the show is that when you're trying to take it seriously, it drags you back down, saying, no, it's not that kind of show. It's like when they're in the middle of the battles, you see some of the girls sinking, and they're just in a silly way, they're just beaten up, or you have the little ducks going around rescuing everybody and repairing the ships. That's adorable, but it really kills the suspense that you're really hoping for in this kind of show. And something that K-Tong Collection has over this show so far is where you get hit by a torpedo, most of the times you're going to sink and you're dead. Or you get reincarnated as an abyssal. But this one is, so far, no one has died, which probably later down the line someone will die. And hopefully they won't do it in a very goofy kind of way, like they've been doing, where some ships are down, but they're not out yet, and the rescuing the ducks. So when I was trying to take the show seriously, it kind of, kept doing the same thing over and over again. Like, I want to be really invested into this, and I am, but I want to be more invested into this, but it's hard because right when I think, like, oh snap, this is about to go down, something goofy happens. Serious conversation, fan service. You think someone's got shot down? No, they're okay, they're drowning. Have some rescue ducks go save them. It's the same thing. So I'm hoping, it gets a bit more serious. We're only on episode 2 here, so I can't judge it too hard. But nonetheless, I have great expectations. The animation so far, in my opinion, of all the anime that's out so far in fall, this probably has the best animation so far. I don't know. I'm waiting for Beastars to come out. Beastars out. It's being done by Studio Orange. And we all know how amazing Studio Orange is when it comes to animation. But that's for Beastars review. Anyways, this ended on a giant cliffhanger of her being rescued by a maid. If you know a maid in anime and a combat anime, it's always badass. They're always, every time you see a maid in an action anime, they're like one of the best fighters there, and I'm looking forward to that right there. So anyways, that's all I got for it, Azur Lane Episode 2. It's a giant improvement. It happens a lot, sometimes when these kind of anime comes out, anime that are based off of big hit franchises with tons of waifu material. It does that to me. The first episode leaves me kind of like, I don't know. And then when I get down the line, I'm like, you know what? I enjoy this. And so most of the times, the good outweighs the bad. So yes, I am definitely looking forward more to this on episode 3, where I get my final first impression of it. That's what I like to say. So anyways, it's like that. I enjoyed After Lane episode 2, and I hope you did too. Anyways, got anything, any thoughts or whatever, let know in the comment section below. So this has been Madcrown on Manime, signing out.